and I'm back today with a story time about religion. So a little backstory. I was having a really good day and I was like, I'm gonna share a little bit of love. I wanna spread the good energy that I'm feeling. So I decided to leave little note cards for the postman, for the man who comes to pick up the trash, and just spread some good energy. Let people know that they're seen, that they're appreciated, and all that good stuff, right? And I also decided to leave a note for my brand new neighbor. So right across the street from me, we have a brand new neighbor, um, black woman. She owns her house. Like this is her home. She is not no man in the house with her, as far as I can tell. I'm kind of nosy, but like as far as I can tell, like this is solely her house that she purchased for herself. I think that's so dope. Like I love to see it. Right, love to see black girls winning. Love it. And she decorated her yard. She has these cute lights out, and like every night, like it's just so bright. In this neighborhood, like when it's dark outside, it's just dark, right? People have their porch lights and whatever, but for the most part, it's dark outside. But her house is so brightly lit. And I decided to leave her a little card and let her know that her lights were so cute and I love the little bit of whimsy that she's showing off with. And it's so inspirational, all that good stuff, right? I left it pretty neutral and I basically was like, welcome to the neighborhood. A few weeks passed and I wasn't expecting her to say anything back to me. And I kind of just left it and I was, I felt good about the exchange. Um, and then sometime last week, I checked my mailbox and I got a full like gift package. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so sweet. And it was from my next door neighbor. I'm like, oh my God, like so considerate, so sweet. I'm so excited about all of these things. And then I sat down and I looked at them and I was like, girl, wait, hold on. What is this? I could not figure out initially why it bothered me because I practice compassion. I'm very good at practicing compassion. I'm very good at understanding that people mean no harm when they do what they do. People aren't even thinking about me when they do what they do. So I'm learning to kind of let shit go and let it be. And also, not to let it bother me. But then I'm also learning impact versus intent and how just because you didn't intend to cause harm doesn't mean that's not what happened, right? It still landed a certain way. And as I practice compassion, I'm also obligated to show compassion to myself. If something doesn't sit with me well, it doesn't serve me to try to push it away and ignore it. Like it serves me to address it and to not expect anything from that other person. So if I'm bringing it up, I'm not expecting you to do or say anything. The loop is closed when I bring it up and when I address how it landed, right? Um, and then also, I wish I remembered the name of this person. I don't remember where I heard it, who I heard it from, but it stuck with me. If something is bothering you and it's been more than 24 hours, somebody is lying. And in this instance, I realized it was me lying to myself. I wasn't actually okay with the gift that she had given me, and I want to share with you why. Um, so she left this notebook that says, love is patient, love is kind, Corinthians 13:14. This pen came with it that also says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then we move on, and this is such a shame because these are so beautiful prayer cards, but whose prayer, whose religious book is it coming out of? This is Christian themed. I don't ascribe, right? And then we have the book that she self-published, Prayers During a Global Crisis. Right here is the pamphlet for her church. And then I didn't even like read the card until this morning when I replied back to her. But then she gave me this too, inspirational words to live by. This is actually neutral. It's not religious coded, which is fine. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to keep it based on the energy of everything that came with it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's cute. And then the card, I'm gonna read the card aloud. It says, and like, look, beyond grateful. That's cute. I love gratitude, right? But let's get into it. Hi, neighbor. Thank you very much for the encouraging words and for welcoming me to the community. Yes, I love to keep my yard looking nice and bright with lights. I blessed you with my book I wrote in 2021. It is a prayer manual. I hope you like it. I pray God's hands and comfort and guidance over your life. Let's pause right there. I don't accept prayers from anybody. I don't I don't I don't accept prayers from anybody except I'm not even good. I don't accept prayers because I don't know your intentions. I don't know your God's intentions. And 10 times out of 10, like, they just don't align with myself. I don't know. Don't pray for me. Keep that. Keep your prayers. I don't want that. I pray for myself. It's plenty. It's plenty over here. I got plenty. Let's continue. Always remember you are never alone because Jesus is right by your side. God sees and knows all, and He never made mistakes. He is always on time, God. Let go and let God be God. You are God's daughter. Now, so many things, so many things. First of all, do y'all know that everyone has their own ruling deity? Everyone has their own ruling God. So I think Yahweh is the Christian God, right? Yahweh and Yeshua, Jesus. Um, they're not my ruling God, right? I actually have a ruling goddess. And she and we're not with it. Like, I think it's so deeply and I think it's so deeply problematic when women, especially black women, um go so hard for a male god. And if it's anything like Islam, which I was exposed to the Nation of Islam when I grew up, that was like what my parents believed in. And so for a long time, I tried to get into it, but girl, it wasn't working. That God was not responding to me. That God was not hearing me. That God wasn't doing anything on my behalf. My prayers fell on deaf ears. Nothing started working until I started working with my ancestors. Nothing started working until I started communing with the gods who actually walk alongside me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand everybody has their own practice, their own beliefs, their own gods. That's cool. Keep that shit over there. Um, Keep it over there. And I like racked my mind for a while. I'm like, why would this woman feel so compelled to share this? And one thing about me, and I think I said it earlier, I don't believe anyone moves with malicious intent. Even the most egregious shit. I don't think anyone moves with malicious intent. I think humans are too selfish to even compute as to how this will land on another person. I think anytime anyone does anything from the most egregious, outrageous, shocking things, I know that they are thinking only of themselves. What can they get out of the situation? How does this serve them and their beliefs and their goals, et cetera, et cetera? Rarely ever is anyone thinking about the next person, right? And so I don't think this was done maliciously, but I think she saw my welcome as an opportunity to advance her own beliefs and religion. But I couldn't help but wonder, like, what else would have sparked this? And so, a little bit about me. I am ruled by my goddess, who is a joyful being, right? Without giving her name away, she is a goddess of music, dance, festival, like my goddess likes to have a good time, and I embody this in my waking life, and that's how I honor her and how I honor myself. And also, I am someone who is learning to love and truly embrace my full feminine form. And that means wearing what I want to wear, moving my body how I choose to move my body. Um, and so I'm thinking, like, this lady probably perceived me a particular way and wants to offer this to me because she thinks it might be helpful. Um, so when I go outside, I do dress a little scantily clad because I love my body and I don't feel like I need to cover it up for anybody. When I go outside, I do like to roll my hips and and be in communion with my body and also Mother Gaia, Mama Earth, right? When I go outside and it's a full moon, I'm out there, I'm saying my prayers, I'm at the crossroads, I'm handling my business in a way that I see fit. And to people who are watching, it might be a little alarming, but it's also not your fucking business, right? I hesitate on cussing, but also like, whatever. Yeah, it's not your business. Why are you worried about what I got going on over here? I'm not worried about what you're doing over there. That's weird, right? And what I'm finding is often it's like the Christians, and from what I've seen, I don't know how everybody acts in this world, but Christians and Muslims, they feel like they have to propagate their faith. And I feel like there's something deeply inauthentic about that, because why are you hiding behind words? To me, I read it as you hiding behind someone else's words, someone else's understandings and ideologies. I want to see who you are as a person. What do your actions communicate to me? What are your words communicating to me? Like, I want to know who you are as a person. And from this interaction alone with this woman, this neighbor, I get that she's somebody who surrounds herself with people who think like her, someone who have a monotheistic way of like engaging in the world. She probably only engaged with people who believe as she believes. And so she has wrongly assumed that her religion, her beliefs, her God is neutral. There is nothing neutral about Christianity. Just like when we think about humanity, whiteness is not neutral. Many other people exist, many other religions exist, many other gods exist, goddesses exist. Like, there are other ways to express faith, belief, yada yada, that are not solely your own. And I think it's so deeply problematic. And I don't know. I think it's so problematic, and I hope that people will stop doing this. Like, even when I like am on the internet, which I try not to do. My God, it's like a cesspool. But like those few times I'm on the internet and I'm like looking at someone's profile, and like a woman has in her like bio daughter of Christ or like God's girl or like something like that. I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, I just can't take you. No offense. No offense. You're entitled to do and say what you want. I don't take you seriously. I don't take you seriously, because anytime anybody hides behind any title, even like if we step away from religion for a minute and like think about other things that people like to attach themselves to, like um their eating habits. So like if you in your bio have vegan or like this, that, and the third, that doesn't tell me anything about who you are and how you believe. And I think there's this expectation, going back to religion, that people want me to assume that you are a good person because you associate with Islam or Christianity or whatever. I don't. I'm not going to assume you're a good person because of your religion. I'm going to watch what you say. I'm going to watch how you move to determine who you are and whether or not we are aligned and should share space together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think it's deeply inauthentic. And yeah, that's my story time. I thought I had more to say about it, but like, that's mostly it. Oh, I ended up leaving her a letter in response to what she left me, and I'm going to read what I wrote her. I said, "Hello, so and so. Thank you for the gift you left the other day. I can tell it came from a genuine place. I sat with this for a while before deciding to share this with you. When I received your gift, it truthfully was a bit jarring and caught me way off guard. You see, I already have a strong spiritual practice that suits me quite well, and I am very pleased with it. So I offer with kindness and compassion, religious and spiritual beliefs are not neutral grounds. Please consider this the next time you engage with someone new. With love, your neighbor, Matima." It took me a couple of days to come up with the proper thing to say, especially because I had to process the anger, disgust, and low key outrage I felt when I processed why this gift was not landing well on me. Because I was deeply offended. I'm not gonna hold you. I was offended. I'm offended when Like people take opportunities and try to sell me on something. Like if I'm engaging with someone on social media and we've maybe like sent two text messages between each other, and then the next thing you say to me is like, subscribe to my Patreon or subscribe to this, that, and what is going on here? Why does there always have to be some sort of transaction? Why can't kindness be enough? Why can't me knowing your name and introducing you to the neighborhood be enough? Why do you have to force your God down my throat? Please, please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And I feel so good about that letter that I left her because again, like I am practicing honoring my boundaries and also realizing that I have a right to return a sender, right? I have a right to tell you that this is not appropriate. I have a right to tell you that how whatever you intended, it didn't land that way. And this is how it impacted me. And I don't expect her to say anything back. I don't want apologies. I don't, y'all, here's another thing about me. I don't believe in forgiveness. I don't believe in forgiveness. I think forgiveness is something someone's religion tried to sell as like something that they could offer. You can't offer forgiveness to anybody. People have to sit with themselves and reflect on how their actions weigh on them and other people, right? Forgiveness is not something that comes from an outside source. So I don't believe in it. And then I also don't believe that people do things deserve that require forgiveness. If you've caused harm, it's your duty to fix it, to sit with it. You know what I'm saying? To address it. But forgiveness, I feel like is fake. I don't ask for forgiveness. I don't expect anybody to give it to me. I don't want you to use that word around me. I think it's fake. So I don't expect anything back, but I feel like the loop has been closed simply because I got it off my chest. I don't deserve to sit with discomfort that someone else caused. So I always make it my business to close the loop and send that shit back. And once I send it back, girl, it's done. It's over. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I don't feel any way about it anymore. Like I honor myself and I honor what I believe in. And I believe in protecting myself by any means necessary. And if that means you are a little bit uncomfortable, well, I was a little uncomfortable when you decided to shove your God down my throat. Um, it's been 17 minutes, so I'm done. This is it. Thank you for listening. If you stayed this long, subscribe, like all the things. Mwah.